Three, two, one, go. Hello, everybody and anybody out there. It's Debo playing Monster Hunter World Beta. It's be coming out for the PlayStation and the PC. PlayStation and Xbox, I do believe, will be getting released late January 2008. While the PC has an undetermined date, but eventually will come out at some point. So I got decided I want to go ahead and pick it up on PlayStation. I don't think it's going to be too much of a... It might be a long-term... I don't think it'll be like a long-term action RPG like... I don't know. It won't be a long-term action RPG like Diablo 3 or Diablo 2 or PoE or something like that, but the game's pretty enjoyable. Has a lot of different craftables and a lot of fantastic stuff like that. So I look forward to playing it when it comes out and playing out its own entirety. This is the beta that was made available to PlayStation Plus users. I don't really want to call it necessarily a beta. I'll call it more like a demo because that's what I feel what it's about. We start off by picking what character we want. I'll pick the brother. That's a preloaded layout. Hopefully you'll be able to design your character however you want. And the game is pretty straightforward, simple, I do believe. It seems like it's going to be a lot of collecting and gathering. And then you use the items that you collect to form powerful items, and you improve your gear, and then you use that gear to fight higher level monsters in different areas, and then you do it over and over again to get more and more powerful items. This is going to be your Palico. This is something that assists you when you're playing single player or when you're not playing with the max party, I do believe. They'll assist you by attacking or doing damage and stuff like that, which is a pretty cool concept. I imagine this thing to play, the place to be in this game will be multiplayer online. But we're going to be doing a quick single player playthrough. We're going to run through all 3 different quests. I'm going to break it up into 3 different videos. I've already played through a little bit of the first set of dungeons and stuff like that, or all the quests and stuff like that. We're going to start off with the level 2-star quest. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward. We have the overall map of the ancient forest. I don't know how many maps they're actually going to have. It'd be interesting to know if they said, hey, we plan on having 10 different maps, and each map you can explore different levels of it and wander around and gather supplies. They got a list of all the monsters, like other monsters, Aptonoth, Marinos, Jagras, and I know they have a huge dinosaur, like crazy looking creature. It kind of lays out everything, and that's why I kind of like how it's straightforward. It tells you what you need to do. You have conditions, and there's no conditions, so maybe at different difficulties, they'll switch the conditions to be crazy amounts of stuff that you have to do, or certain limitations to make the game harder. It tells you your failure conditions when the time expires, faint 9 times, it's cool. We're going to have to hunt one of the great Jagras. It gives us more money, gives us our time limit, and we're going to go ahead and hit confirm. Cool thing about it too, you can choose at what camp you want to start off with, depending on where you want to go. We're going to go ahead and start off at Southwest Camp and accept the quest. And we're going to go ahead and change out our equipment. One thing I have learned about this game, it's not too much of a hard concept to learn. As you can see, all the gear, I'm pretty sure they're giving you a set laid out amount of gear. You probably won't have access to all this when you first start, but you know, I know the main thing is your different defense level, and then what elements you have defense versus, and then what extra property that the item does. So for instance, this one has stun resistance, which is good if you are going, if you're going to be attacking and meleeing if you're very quick, so you don't want to get stunned a lot. The monsters do like this AoE, or does like this mouth thing where they scream, they stun you, or they knock you down. Speed eating, recovery up, attack boost, defense boost, so you can kind of see what's going on. I personally like to get attack boost, and I find a pretty nice little setup that I like. So we got attack boost on the hunter armor and the headgear, and on the gloves. Let me see here. We're gonna go ahead and get a little defense boost. And let me see here. Monster mounter. I'm assuming this gives you the ability to mount on the monsters a lot easier. You mount the monsters by doing a jumping attack when you're above them. So when you run off the edge, you just hit an attack and you land on the monsters. I've seen some people use like a grappling hook and get to higher places, jump down the monster's attack to start it that way. I've seen people use a special garment that or a mantle that allows them to float in the air, so it'll jump off a high platform, float down, and mount on the back of the monster to do extra damage. We won't be doing that. I want to go for another attack boost. And then of course here's for the leggings. Cliffhanger, not too for sure what that is yet, but we're going to go ahead and go with Critical Eye. I think I got the right one. Cliffhanger, or we'll go recovery speed. Or at least I think that's the correct one. Alright, cool. We're going to go ahead and be rocking. Where is it at? It's one of my weapons I actually really like a lot. The Binding Rock. It has Paralyze, which is really good, which allows you to get in a lot of extra damage, and it does massive amounts of damage. Well, it just does a lot. It gives you opportunities to get in there and do the damage you need to. This is going to also boost your attack. Now these are pretty cool. These are due to Monster Hunter the Mantle. You got one that conceals your presence from enemies. If you use that in the middle of a battle, it will actually make it so that you're invisible to the monster until you get hit. So that one's pretty cool. The Glider Mantle is like when you basically jump off a cliff or edge, you float for a little bit, and it allows you to be able to mount on monsters easier. I got the Challenger Mantle, prompts the marker to attack you, lure, and they have the Rocksteady Mantle, which I'll be using. This protects your hearing, gives you armor, tremor resistance, and I also receive death damage for attacks, so I'm going to be using this. The one thing you got to remember when using the Mantos is that they only last for a certain amount of time, then they go on cooldown. Let me see here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and use the Glider Mantle. And this is our equipment box. I think we're good to go. So we got everything set up pretty well. And it seems like they have a manage loadout button here, so this is one thing I do like, how you can have multiple loadouts and different different setups. So we're gonna save that loadout. I don't really know if it really matters, but so as you can see right here, we have a level 4 attack boost, we have level 1 defense boost and recovery. I like how the stats are pretty straightforward, but I'm gonna have to look more into it, you know, to figure everything out. So here you go to skill info, increase the attack power always plus affinity at higher levels. So it kind of tells you straight up what it does and what happens when you get to higher levels. The defense boost, and then a recovery. So like I said, it'll be interesting to see how this all kind of pans out. Like I said, I don't know all the nooks and crannies of this game yet, but you kind of get the basic idea. So we got our equipment set up. We're gonna go ahead and depart. The first part of finding the monster target is usually tracking it. After you're tracking it, then after it takes the time to pursue it, and once you find the monster, then when you start attacking it, then it's pretty much you're going to be chasing the monster down through different stages, like a beginning stage, a middle stage, and an end stage. And when you finally get that monster down, you'll be able to carve up the body and get items off of it.
Okay, you ready to get cracking on that quest? The
So,
one called Great Devourer, Great Jagras.
Let me see
The
if
Great
I got it
Jagras
here.
has yellow and green stripes, and the
So we got all the
gluttonous
hotkeys right
swallow
here.
and prey whole.
We got our Rocksteady
You know the
manual.
drill. We've got
We have our
find it
glider
and hunt
manual,
it
and we have our
before time runs
waystone,
out.
we have our potions. So we'll be good to go. And we're just going to make sure when your little green bar on the top left gets low, we go ahead and reutilize that. So we're going to head out, and we'll go ahead and get started.
The hammer is a mighty close-range weapon.
The hammer's
It lets
pretty
you
cool.
get up in a
You can do
monster's
some
face
pretty
to deal
straightforward
powerful
attacks.
charged attacks.
The range is not that great. You gotta get real close. They have two different sets of attacks. One where you kind of go into how do you say, like a combination of attacks. Like usually you got like the regular 3-hit attack. You got the charge one where you hold R2 and you let it go. You spin around and do different attacks like this. And there's one more attack, but I think it only works when you're next to the monster. Oh, there it is. When you rapidly push it, that one causes a stun pretty well. So I like the weapon. It may not be for everybody. I haven't really messed with a lot of the range stuff, but I pretty much messed with that one and the other sword axe one, and it works okay. So that's our monster target. We got pretty lucky because it's right here. Normally, you have to, track it and stuff like that, but we're just gonna get it right in there and do our damage. And then once you start to battle, the monster will start doing things. Looks like it's running away. Okay, looks like it wants to fight us. So I'm gonna go ahead and while I got a chance, I'm gonna put on my Rocksteady mantle. This will make it so it can't knock me down. So we're gonna get the damage in it if we can. So now it's immobilized, right? So now I'm gonna go ahead and charge up my attack, which is pretty cool. And just really let him have it.
Oh boy, that monster is really mad now.
Okay, so now it's on the ground. We're gonna charge again. And I'm gonna let go of my attack. And like I said, the hammer is like really destructive, and plus with the Rocksteady manto, you don't really have to worry about getting knocked down, which is fantastic. So we're just wailing on this monster pretty crazy like. I think it's gonna move into the next stage and it's gonna start running away. We'll roll for it. No, he's still here. I thought he was definitely gonna run away. Okay. So
the monster's almost done for. Chances are it will retreat to its nest.
So now we're gonna see if we can take off the manto. Well, probably come off of his own. I could probably reselect it. So remove that. As you see, it turned to X in the top left, which puts it on cooldown, so we won't be able to wear that until we have a chance again.
You can use jump attacks to mount monsters.
Now, the thing about jump attacks, you gotta come from a higher ledge in order to do that. So we're just gonna follow him. If he moves down a ledge, we're gonna do a jump attack. But I don't think he's gonna move to a lower ledge. Alright, so here he is. Alright, so now it's on the ground. I'm gonna go ahead and charge it. And then we're gonna spin it off with an awesome attack. That's why I really like the hammer. And it just does so much damage. We're gonna spin it one more time since we got the chance, and then we're gonna sharpen our weapon. Like, the thing I like about this the most, it really fits my style from doing the big damage. So now I'm gonna back away. And the reason why we're backing away is because we want to be able to use our sharpen stone, and I don't want to get knocked out of it. So there goes our little Palico to help us out. Now I'm gonna come through, re-engage. Okay, it's on the floor. I want to give it my other setup combo attack. Now I'm going to give my charge attack, and I'm going to see if I can get in there, if I can. See if I can really charge up. There we go. And that's it, it's down. And then after that, we'll be able to go ahead and carve up the carcass. And after we carve up the carcass, it's going to end the quest. So, like I said, for the first quest, it's pretty straightforward. This guy's not too difficult, but I really enjoy all the different weapons they have. And if this is a lot of the gameplay with the graphics and how it plays, I'm really going to enjoy myself. The only thing I'm wondering about is that I don't know if I don't have a grappling hook yet. Maybe that might be in the regular game, but you're supposed to have a grappling hook where you can grapple to the ceiling, get launched into the air, land on the monster, and do damage. So I appreciate you guys coming on the first part of this video. If you're out there in YouTube land, I'll probably roll over into the next quest for the part of the beta. I'm going to showcase all three. So 458, not too bad, but like I said, I had a lot of practice. So hope you enjoyed this little glimpse of Monster Hunter. And, you know, like I said, it's on sale January 26th, as you see, and they're really pushing hard for to sell the game. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, cool.